This is a 50s Gretsch round badge I got recently. They're 3-ply, 13, 14, 16, 22. They're all date stamped inside 1953, except for the snare. I couldn't find a stamp. White marine pearl that's obviously yellowed over time. Unfortunately, I think at one point somebody got a drill for Christmas and started adding and removing mounts, and you can see there's a Ludwig tom mount right there, and both rack toms have the Ludwig mount as well. The floor tom doesn't have any extra holes. It's actually really nice. It's the nicest drum out of the bunch. There's that famous Gretsch round badge right there. Like I said, the floor toms, and it just really needs to be cleaned up. It's got the Gladstone style leg mounts. Beautiful drum. These are beautiful drums. They're just they've just been around. I mean, it's going on 70 years. I can just imagine the smoke-filled clubs these things have seen over the years. So I just set it up really quick to get a feel for it. I'm not a fan of that cutout front head, or really pillows and bass drums. I usually just run mine double-headed with maybe a port. Some I port, some I don't, but that pillow is just a quick way to make it sound a little bit better, just so I could set it up and play it and get a feel for the set. Not quite sure what I'm gonna do with it just yet. I had somebody, the first night I got it, somebody was interested in buying it, and still is. I just like to keep things for a minute and stew on them and play them a little bit before I just offload it, decide whether I want to keep it or not. So unfortunately, space-wise, I kind of need to sell a few sets. It's getting a little overwhelming down here. I have room for a good size collection, but when it gets to be too many sets, it like I said, it gets overwhelming. You gotta move stuff to get it stuff, to move stuff to get it stuff. And I like to keep my sets accessible so I can set them up whenever and play. You know, take one down, set one up. And when you have to move a bunch of stuff to do that, it starts becoming a pain in the ass. So, like I said, this one will probably end up being for sale. I'm not a Gretsch expert. I know enough to know if I'm looking at something good or not. I don't know. A lot of times with these vintage drums, there's so many brands and so many models, and prices vary so much depending on just what it is. But I have an eye for what could possibly be something really nice. And so when I saw these, my eyes lit up. I wasn't exactly positive on all the details on it, but I knew it was a nice set. So I struck a deal with the seller and brought it home. So I guess that 14-inch tom is kind of rare, or kind of on the rare side, from what I'm told. Like I said, I am not a Gretsch expert. I've had some Gretsch sets over the years, some vintage Gretsch sets, but I'm no expert. You can see, unfortunately, that the snare even has a few extra holes. And it's just the heads that were on it when I got it, mix matched. I tuned it up the best I could with what's there. It actually sounds really good. I can imagine with new heads, it'll be a killer sounding set. I know they're pretty sought after. So anyways, this is this one.